Guys, deluded. Thank you very much for tuning back in. As you know, Fridays equals Q&A days. Little secret is Thursday evening, but I mean, yeah, I got to record it at some time. So better yet, let's crack on. Thank you very much for the questions. It means a lot. If I've missed you out, please come back again. You can get at me on Facebook, deluded, the Guna04. Twitter's the same. Snapchat, many people ask me the questions via Snapchat, dguna04. Even if you want, you can email me, deludedguna04 at gmail.com. Very smart move to secure that email before I started everything. Yeah, that was looking a bit weird, but let's crack on, people. Let's not waste any more time. Ignore all of this. This is where you need to go. Ignore the dead handwriting as well. But moving on, we've got some good questions. Tarek asks me thoughts on Concacaf National Nations League. I must admit again, I'm not clued up. Have CONCACAF introduced the same Nations League that UEFA have? If so, then it's a good look. I mean, games will become more competitive if they're not already. Pardon me, probably won't. Pardon me, I'm ill. Probably won't make up for the lack of quality, generally speaking, around that region. To be fair, if it's not that, and you're asking me would I like to see that implemented, then I guess why not? Just based on what I've seen, how it's been with Europe in Europe. Um, you've also asked me, is it too easy to get an England call up? I would say yes and no. I'd say yes, just because all you need to. I don't think it's necessarily true, but we like people that have a buzz, sort of thing. Maybe not necessarily Gareth Southgate, but it looks like previously you get a little buzz and you get called up. I mean, you look at Jenkinson a few years ago, and it's not just him. Many people, and they flattered to deceive. Even Dele Alli, he got a chance very early. Now, because Dele's starring for Spurs and he's doing his thing for England, it doesn't look like such a criminal claim to call him up very early. But it was like what 3-4 games into his MK Dons career. Out of his MK Dons career at Spurs, and he got called up. If you're good enough, why wait? But it's never an easy one. It more if I'm a manager, I will probably wouldn't hesitate whether to call someone up after 2 games or whether I need to see 10 games, just if I believe in them, sort of thing. So I don't feel there's an easy way to answer that. You've also asked, if you're not a regular for your club, should you not be called up for your country? It depends. Again, another one that it depends, and I must admit it's according to the player, because it all depends how you look at it. I mean, if we just look at Danny Rose real quick, he's probably played. Okay, I'm reaching a bit, but he's probably played more for England than he has for Spurs recently. He's not a regular, but that logic, he shouldn't have even been called up to the side against Switzerland and Spain. But arguably against Switzerland, he was one of the better players. Obviously, he came off the bench against Spain for sure, and he done all right there. But he's not necessarily a regular for Spurs again, because of we know what happened with the Sun interview and things like that. Even if you look at Giroud, technically, is he a regular, would you say, at Chelsea when he made the move? No, he's trusted by the manager, and if you trust him, cool. Loftus-Cheek at this moment in time is not a regular in that Chelsea side. He's been called up because the manager trusts him and trusts what he's about. So it's about trust. Delph is not a regular at City, but again, you can trust these players. If you trust these players, you'll always call them up. So it's a bit of an ambiguous one. You can't really answer yes or no, in my opinion, bro. But great questions, man. Thanks for them. Antonio asks should we make a move for Luke Shaw as his contract is up soon? I'm a big fan of Shaw, but I probably think he signs a new deal at United, so I'm not too sure on that. Tariq's also asked me again, would you go abroad to coach? Without a doubt, if the project was me, this fucking fly, man, the window's open. One sec, people. If I can't burst this fly, then we gonna get it one way until it busts out. But yeah, coaching, I'll coach anywhere if I was given the opportunities and given some real chance of progression, more so than you can get in England. I'll jump at the chance. You've asked me for my best under 23 centre midfield. I'd probably say De Jong, Saul, Rabiot, Arthur that's just gone to Barcelona. I got to plug Lucas Torreira, I guess. I'm probably missing someone else out, but that's a good question. That one put me on the spot. Count Asensio, I'd say him. So good question, man. That put me on the spot. Igals asked me, the term world class gets thrown around a lot. Can you give me an example of a world class player and what it means to you? Well, again, you're not right. You're not wrong on that. It's thrown around a lot. I mean, it depends how you look at it. You can say someone's world class in today's market, or you can say they're overall world class. For me, I don't really care for that. If you're world class, you're world class. For me, it's someone like Kante. It doesn't matter what team he's in, what duration. what he's going to give you. He's going to perform his role to the best of his ability. He's arguably mastered his role. Consistency levels are there. That's world class in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Sergio Ramos isn't my sort of centre half, and if we go back towards when Sol and Terry were there, I don't think people would look at him as a good defender. But he is world class. He's a leader. He's a clutch person. He's there for moments. Don't get me wrong, I might not rate him compared to the previous people that have defended, but in today's market, he's a good tackler. He's composed. He's all of these things. So that is world class. It gets thrown around and used way too much. I agree, but that would be me. Alf asks, how do you feel about pro footballers who turn up at clubs unfit? Guessing you saw the Sunderland get that guy that turned up unfit. It stinks of unprofessionalism. I mean, obviously, if it's pre-season holidays and things, we all will feel guilty of overindulging, and probably players come back overweight technically more so than you think. But if it's not for, again, I'm not a mental health person, but if there's not mental health issues or problems you're going with surrounding your weight gain or things like that, could be depression, it could be anything, there's no excuse. It just stinks of unprofessionalism, and ultimately it's your body. Like, in the same way a tradesman's got to make sure he doesn't injure his hands or he can't fix pipes or things like that, you need to look after your body so you can play football and things like that. It stinks of unprofessionalism, because that's almost the one thing you have to do by yourself as a footballer, and even then you're having meals and programs and nutrients and all other supplements tailored for you, so it's almost to a degree impossible to be unfit within reason. So it stinks of unprofessionalism, plain and simple. Antonio asks, have you heard of Hamza Menzi? He's gone to Schalke but not too sure. JP asks, does Arsenal currently have a top 10 player in a position? I'd probably say no. To be honest, you could probably force it with Obar, maybe Ozil in terms of creative midfielders and stuff if we cut the crap. But yeah, you've also asked, do you think Mkhitaryan, Ozil and maybe Laka should be sold to raise funds? No, in my opinion. Main man Uber asks, thoughts on Bruma and Lazari? Well, Lazari looks a good fullback for Italy, and Bruma's been on the scene for a while for Portugal, and he looks like he's going up a level, so I'm keen to see how they develop and how he's blooded in. But he's a talented lad that's been on the scene for a while. Laka Source asks, could Xhaka become better with Torreira next to him? On the basis of how he plays for Switzerland with Zakaria behind him, then I guess so, but you still see the same Buki stuff behind you still see the same Buki stuff he does, so yeah, it would improve him playing around people that are more defensively minded than him, but Xhaka has to fix up certain things, and only he can do that. It doesn't matter what formation, what players you put around him. Bello asks, if you had to pick one player to replace Ozil, if it came to that point, who would you get? Fekir, Draxler, or Bruno Fernandes? Fekir. Could you look at Troy Deeney as a future club legend for Watford? I can't answer that because I'm not a Watford fan, but he's probably an icon or someone they hold close to their hearts based on what did he score the playoff goal versus Leicester many years ago when they went straight down the field after knock out Mr. Penn and scored. So probably an icon, but in terms of legend, only a Watford man could answer that for you. So yeah, man. I don't think I've missed out anybody's questions and all of these things there. So all I can say is thank you very much, people. It's been an enjoyable Q&A, and I hope you enjoy the content. Get in the comments with more questions, please, because it can't happen without you guys. No question is too complex or too stupid. Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Deluded, folks. Out.